Welcome to How So, the channel where curiosity meets discovery. From history and science to everyday mysteries, we explore.
Crosswords imagine stepping into a world without electricity, phones, or cars. A world where knights ruled the battlefield, castles guarded the land, and faith decided the fate of kingdoms. Welcome to medieval Europe, the year 1000. Globe showing Europe, Africa. If you love history, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because today, we're traveling back 1,000 years to uncover the world of the Middle Ages. In the year 1000, Europe stood at a crossroads. The Dark Ages were fading, kingdoms were forming, and the foundations of modern Europe were slowly being built. But what was life really like for the peasants, kings, knights, and priests? Let's uncover the stories of medieval Europe. In 1000 AD, Europe was a patchwork of kingdoms, empires, and tribes. In the West, the Kingdom of France was still young and fragile. England was beginning to unite under one crown after centuries of Viking invasions. In Central Europe, the Holy Roman Empire stretched across modern Germany and Italy, while in the South, Italy itself was divided into small states and city powers. The Byzantine Empire continued to shine in the East, preserving Roman traditions and wealth. But in Spain, Al-Andalus, ruled by Muslims, flourished as one of the most advanced societies in Europe. This was not a continent of nations as we know today, but of shifting borders, rival rulers, and fragile alliances. For the majority of people, life was not lived in castles or cities. Most were peasants bound to the land through the system of feudalism. Peasants worked on farms, planting wheat, barley, and rye. Their homes were small, smoky huts made of wood and mud. Daily life meant hard labor in the fields, enduring hunger in winters, and surviving disease without medicine. Life expectancy was short, often only 30 to 40 years. Yet, despite the hardships, peasants formed the backbone of medieval society, providing food for all. As Europe became more dangerous, lords built castles for defense. These were not just homes but fortresses, with high walls, towers, and moats. Inside, knights trained for battle. Armed with swords, shields, and heavy armor, knights swore loyalty to their lords in exchange for land and protection. The knight became the symbol of the medieval warrior, and chivalry, the code of honor and duty, began to shape their image in history. But life for knights was not always noble. War, raids, and violence were constant companions. The Catholic Church was the most powerful institution of the Middle Ages. From the Pope in Rome to local village priests, the Church influenced every aspect of life. Monasteries were centers of learning where monks copied manuscripts by hand, preserving knowledge from the ancient world. Faith was not just spiritual but political, as kings sought approval from the Pope to legitimize their rule. Pilgrimages to holy sites were common, and relics, objects connected to saints, were treasured. Religion gave people hope, structure, and meaning in a time of hardship, but it also created conflicts between church and state. By the year 1000, Europe's economy was beginning to grow. Small towns emerged as centers of trade, where markets bustled with merchants selling cloth, wine, and tools. Long-distance trade connected Europe with the Middle East and even China, through the Silk Roads. Although most people rarely left their villages, travelers, pilgrims, and merchants carried news, goods, and ideas across the continent. Despite being called the Dark Ages, the year 1000 was full of creativity. Churches were built in the Romanesque style with thick walls and small windows. Illuminated manuscripts, decorated with gold and color, told biblical stories. Epic poems and oral traditions kept history alive, while folk songs and legends spread among the people. The seeds of Europe's later Renaissance were quietly being planted. Europe was not safe in 1000 AD. Viking raids from Scandinavia still struck coastal towns, though they were slowing down. Magyars from the east and Saracens from the south threatened Europe's borders. At the same time, local wars between lords were constant, as castles clashed and kingdoms fought for dominance. Violence was a part of daily life. Yet, around the year 1000, Europe began to stabilize. Viking invasions faded, farming improved, and population slowly grew. This stability allowed Europe to prepare for the next great chapter, the Crusades. the rise of powerful kingdoms, and eventually the Renaissance. The year 1000 was not the end of the Dark Ages, but the beginning of Europe's transformation. So, what does medieval Europe in 1000 AD teach us? It was a world of struggle, but also one of resilience, faith, and the first steps toward the Europe we know today. Backhand index pointing right. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel. Cross swords and stay tuned. Our next video will take you into the Crusades, the holy wars that shaped both Europe and the Middle East forever.